Hello there, long time no see, and welcome to my channel, New Beginnings, my everyday life in rural Cyprus. I apologise for eating while I'm alive, but it's anti-nausea stuff, so the last few hours I've actually had a really bad relapse again, but I'm feeling a bit better right now. And Mike said, "Oh, don't do your live today." I was like, "No, I promised." And it's our wedding anniversary today, so I was trying to be healthy. And in a bit, I've got a little montage for you, just a little short bit. I just put some pictures together of me and Mike, so I will share that with you in a bit. First of all, at the chat, we have, congrats. Congrats for managing to put up with Michael this time. Yes. We have our great friends Steve and Tina Jewell. So let's say hello to you. So that's Steve, who's been really supportive, along with quite a few others during the time that I've not been live. As you may or may not know, I still put a live up because it gives me something to do while I'm recuperating, and I play videos, normally catch-up videos, things that if you're a newer video or a newer viewer, then you may not have seen, or things we did at the very beginning. The last live I did on Monday was how we built our raised beds, and then I followed it with a second video straight away, and that was how we built our vertical pallet wood growing wall. So that was 2 videos in one, was my last live. So things like that, things that you've seen what I'm doing now, but you might not have seen the journey, how we got to where we are now. Let's do first of all the puzzle piece, as it's Wednesday. We do a puzzle piece, and it's a really fun question today, so let's play that. So today's question is quite a fun one. Does a giraffe or a human have more bones in its neck? So a giraffe or a human? So which has more bones in its neck, a giraffe or a human? And I'll come back to that later in the video and see if anyone gets it, or whether I beat you with my question today. Okay, now the last time I was live, if you've watched the video, I was waiting for comments, but they never came. I think people are being polite, but something really terrible happened the last time I was live, and it abruptly finished. It very abruptly finished, and I couldn't get on to explain to you in the, I don't know if people were hanging on. My chat I can't see after I've been live, so I couldn't see if anyone was had carried on watching or saying what's happened or hang on. I don't know what happened. I can't see. I can't read my chat, and I couldn't communicate in the chat or come up on screen to explain what's going on. So it very abruptly finished, and it finished with me saying I was going to show you the update on my craft, and you had my little intro of craft project update, and that was that. And when I went back later, as I say, I went back to see if I could see the chat, and I can't see the chat after, whether that's just StreamYard or my computer, the way mine works, because I can't often see live chats if I'm not actually in a live chat. So as I say, it abruptly finished, and I didn't actually show you it. But as I say, after I put that up, let's say the screen froze on that, but when I went back later to look, it had actually, when I played that live through, it actually went on for quite some time after it, but with that frozen screen saying Craft Project, and then I don't know if you see the pink screen, which you now see probably between me playing interludes and whatever, because I have to do it in a hacker's way. So there's pauses between what I play for you now. And I believe it's a pink screen, and that's what I see before I actually go live as well. So after this Craft Project logo interlude thing came up, intro bit, then it went on to pink screen for quite a few more minutes. Tell me in the chat if you saw that and whatever else. So I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't move the mouse. So, and I was off the screen, so I couldn't get back, and I couldn't move my mouse, and I can't use the finger thingy on the laptop. I can't use that with my brain condition. I couldn't get back to you to tell you what's going on. I couldn't see the chat. The chat had gone. I just had this Craft Project introduction up. So I couldn't help you. I couldn't see what you could see. I couldn't see anything, and I couldn't move the mouse. It had gone onto a screen of, is it Java? When you get all the computer, like an old-fashioned computer where you see all the programming, all that. It had gone onto that, the whole screen. I couldn't move my mouse. I couldn't get out of it. I went and got Mike. Mike came in, he went, "What have you done that for?" Yeah, total disaster. And other things had occurred as well. And it was like a battlefield, absolute battlefield. So let's try now to play the update. And I've done some more since, so there should be a big update for you. And I really hate this. I have to keep clicking myself in and out, and it's very annoying. I have to remove bits, blah, 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 blah. It's my hacking version of doing what I used to do. So an update. I have done quite a lot more. Can you see me all right? Because I haven't actually got my light ring on. I've just realised. So this is what we've done. Now, I'd made it to the bottom. I can't remember if you saw that, but I'd made it to the bottom. Are you laughing, Steve? I made it to the bottom. We've now done the bottom partially. And what I'm doing, it looks filled in from the very bottom corner that's done up quite some way. I'm filling that in with the colour that's similar to the colour I've already done. So it may look to you like it's all one colour. It's actually two colours where I filled it in. So I'm working my way up, obviously, from this big gap of white in the middle of it all. I haven't done that bit. So I'm filling in. But that as a whole, it's a bit long, this one, to show you. That is the length of the picture. And again, I was thinking about just going all along the bottom to get kind of the outline, if you like, but I want to do the filling in because I don't want to do a lot more and then go, oh, I've got all that filling in to do, because that is quite hard. I have to do it with the aid of a magnifying glass. It's very small squares, this one. And I'm all right doing, if you know how you do cross stitch, I'm all right doing the half. You do half of the cross first, all the way along the row as far as you're going, and then you come back again. Well, I can see doing the half, but I can't see the halves as I come back versus the whole ones. So I use the magnifying glass and the chart. I have to look at the chart to come back to finish off the crosses. And that's an update of that. Waterfall, says Steve. Oh, yes, we're getting. It's very specific what it is. So let's say it is a waterfall. Then let's say it's Niagara Falls. Then you have to say Niagara Falls. It's very specific. It's not just a picture. It's not just a picture. It's something or somewhere very specific. So, River Valley. Oh, it's a River Valley first. Sometimes my comments come in backwards and then they put themselves in the right places. Either that or you think before you type. River Valley Waterfall. You're on the right lines, but it's very specific. Very specific. So let's have a look now at this. And there I am, popping back up on the side. Let me just put myself on the screen again. There we go. So, information, did you know? I did tell you at the beginning, today is our wedding anniversary, and I have for you just a little short montage, just a few pictures of me and Mike dating when we first met, dating. I think maybe the first picture or somewhere near the beginning is actually us in England. And then when we went on holiday somewhere together, and I think there's a picture of our wedding. It's very short, but a little montage. So I will remove myself and show you. So did you like that? Which was your favourite? And did you notice in there, I think it says on the side, Limassol Bar, Beach Bar or something like that. And me and Mike are there. I'm sitting on a bar stool on the bar, and Mike's standing. I can't remember now, but I think he's holding something up. I can't remember. But when you see that one, you will notice we are different directions in the room, as in... It looks like it's photoshopped. I promise you 100% it is not photoshopped. Yes, it's not photoshopped. I wonder if I could just bring that picture up. No, if you want to see it again, then you'll have to play this back. As I say, it's a beach bar, but we are, when I say different directions, the ground is different directions for both of us. Standing on the wall. Now, if you look hard at the when you see the picture again, yeah, it's like he's standing on the wall. Yeah, on the wall. Mike's that way, and I think I'm this way, sitting on bar stool, and I think he's up the middle of the wall. So yeah, and as I say, I promise you, it's not photoshopped. And there is a whole video on that, other sort of pictures like that within the video. So if you're interested in where that video has come from and I don't know if I explained how we did it or not. I can't remember, but it is not photoshopped. Yes. Ah, Steve made another guess. The cross stitch, Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe. Now that's the type of answer I want, but that is not the answer. But well done, Steve. Good guess. That's kind of the answer I want. That is not the one. Okay. What should we do now? Oh, let me go through what I've been posting. As I say, this often is for my own head. My own head. Can we still do banners? Let's see if I can still do banners. They're still here, but that doesn't mean anything. Yes, right. So we're going to look first at what's on the ticker tape. Tranquility through life's natural beauty. What we have going on there. Okay, so Friday coming up, I have scheduled a video. People like to see me doing my jigsaw puzzles, which obviously I've been doing a lot of that lately. I haven't been able to do much else. That and my cross stitch. I'm reading. I'll show you my books in a minute that I've been reading. And I'm posting on Friday one I've done. It's all old adverts, and I think there's current products as well, adverts in it. That's all the puzzle is, jigsaw puzzle. And let me warn you, it's American stuff, so I didn't know quite a few of the stuff. But if you're American, or I believe the Canadians, am I right, Steve, have a lot of the American products there, so like Kool-Aid. Now I've heard of that because I watch Americans doing YouTube. They always talk about Kool-Aid. I don't know it, but I know of it. That's on there. There's that Mr. Peanuts character. Obviously there's Pepsi and Coca-Cola, but it's old ones. So if you want to have a look at that, whether you like watching the puzzle being done or you just want to see the old advert products. And before that, I've just posted frugal craft ideas. Now, this was a video from this channel that I've played around with a little bit. And it's showing you how to make a turkey feather blanket, how to make bamboo furniture, and how to make baskets from ashwood, this one particularly. So if you're into making stuff from stuff, then that is one for you. And then prior to that, I did the video of one of my Yorkshire Terriers I had in England. Pip the dog prepares for having her own puppies and giving birth. So they're all on Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. And then let's have a look at what's going on in this channel. Let me see. Friday, I have scheduled more about my new kitten. There's already a video out there about my new kitten, so go back a few and you will find that. And it's more about the story of the kitten, the story so far, even though this is episode 2. And then today I've posted hugelkultur, what I grow in a heat wave. And I've seen so many videos popping up that they can't grow things when it's extra hot. So we have heat waves every year without fail. And it just shows you what you can grow. And my biggest tip is do hugelkultur. If you do hugelkultur, it's good for growing things when it's cold and for growing things when it's ultra hot. So that is the big tip, that you'll see what I've got growing during the heat wave. And then prior to that, I did another charity shop book haul. And also in that video is a beach chill out and some more of doing my cross stitch craft. So the one I've just showed you, there's a little bit of footage, there's a little bit of footage in there of me physically doing it. And then prior to that was a video, what's happening in my garden. There's a project that's coming up, and I've showed you a bit of that. So a sneak peek of what's coming up, not in the near future, but you'll see why if you see that little bit in there, why we can't do it now. We need more stuff. because we don't buy building materials. The only things we buy is sand and cement. I think that's all we get. Also in there's harvesting my Malabar spinach, sowing seeds, and obviously more garden stuff. So do go back, make sure you've checked them out, and do look at my community posts because there's always fun stuff in those as well. I see I've got a comment. Steve said, I see thunderbirds on the wall behind you. The first person you see is my potential husband, Virgil. And as I've always said, if Virgil was real, bye-bye, Mike. And Mike knows that, and he often tries to walk like Virgil for me as a consolation. These are hand-drawn. So it's a guy I met, and he did, I think that's Alan and Scott and Brains, I think it is. We don't care, it's Virgil, we're interested. And then if you can see next to it, I don't know how well you can see, these are the Thunderbird vehicles. And then after that, I don't know if it's always in shot and you can't see it clearly, you can probably just see something. These are old postcards and pictures of where I lived in England, as in what it looked like Victorian times, Edwardian times, and when I was living there. So that's the town where I lived in England, just different pictures there. Maybe I'll share those with you one time. So yes. And it's funny, this bit at the bottom here always looks blurred. And I kept meaning to look, well, why is it blurred? It looks like I blurred something out, does it? Here, just above my hand. I was like, what is that? Why is that not in focus? And then I looked what it was. It's one of those, I think they were popular in the 70s, and then they've had revivals. They're those lights where it's fibre optics all spanning out from the top. That's what looks blurred, the fibre optic bits there. And you turn it on and you've got all fibre optic lights. If you know, I love fibre optics and colours and colour lights, and so that's what that is. And it always looks like I blurred something out. I don't have that technology. We have Two Doves, Bees and Gardens here. I was thinking of you today because I harvested some figs. So I did think of you. I always think of you when I harvest my figs. So hello to Two Doves, Bees and Gardens. Okay, so for those coming in, I will recap today's puzzle piece for you. There. John and Sarah are saying, love those figs, so yummy. I was quite surprised I had them because we've got many fig trees. I wouldn't say I've got as many as Sarah and John, so do check out Two Doves, Bees and Gardens. They have zillions of fig trees, and they go through on their channel all the different varieties, which is really useful. I don't know what varieties mine are because they were just here, or I've farmed off of them and sown other ones, so I don't actually know what all mine are. So I went down to the compost to throw away some eggshells, and there's a very small, probably about this tall fig tree there, not a big fig tree, and I just saw loads of purple over it. I'm like, oh, harvest them then. We have Shirley in glitter bombs. We have glitter bombs in, so let's say hello to you. So yes, happy day indeed to Shirley. Shirley has moved recently, if any of you don't know that. Shirley has recently moved, and she did a little tour around her house. So do go and have a look at that. Glad to make it. So yes, I was going to say we're doing a recap on the puzzle piece. So let's do that. Okay, so the puzzle piece today is, does a giraffe or a human have more bones in its neck? Does a giraffe or a human have more bones in its neck? I'm just plugging my ring light in because I feel like I'm getting a little bit dark. Does a giraffe or a human have more bones in its neck? Why won't you go in the hole? I'm going to do a live next Wednesday, a little bit more about phones. I've got a lot to say, and YouTube. Some more facts and info and things that are going on now, like the latest one. One I haven't told you about, that I've been advised about from YouTube, that I'm actually... I should keep it for next week, but I did a video about, if, let's say about music, if they're taking down your video for using non-copyright music, but you're using music you can use, and you got the disclaimer from the person personally to say you can use it and it's their music, then I said build up some factual content, reporting channels that are deliberately using music they can't use, keep a file of that with their responses, and you've got more to go to court with for a claim of obviously targeting your channel. They've now sent me a policy to say I'm limited as to how many times I can put in claims and reports on channels that are breaking policies. But I'll talk about that on Wednesday, next Wednesday. It's hilarious. It's like going to the police. You can only report a crime so many times, like different crimes so many times. Now you can't report anymore. Steve says giraffe have more bones in their necks than humans. I'll wait for everyone else's guesses if you want to play along, and we will then give you the answer. I would have said giraffes as well, but I'm not saying if that's right or wrong. I do make mistakes. Okay, while we are pondering over that, let's do this. Oh yes, I've got to do your fire update as well. I will do a fire update in a minute, but what am I reading? Well, I was, last time I spoke with you, reading this one, Pot of Gold, and this is someone who wins, I think it was, it says here $60 million on the lottery, and the story of that, how she says it won't change her, and all what happens to her, and how she suddenly has this need to buy designer clothes and whatever else. So it's the sort of thing you perhaps would say she's sort of like a normal person that doesn't like all that sort of stuff, and how I say she changed, but spoiler alert, how she rectifies it in the end. And there's a lot of gritty stuff actually in this, a lot of gritty stuff. So you probably can't see the author. It's Judith Michael, Pot of Gold. And as I say, if you look on Kindle or go to a book auction or secondhand bookshop, you should be able to get these sort of things. I don't review brand new books because I don't have them. So I'm not keeping that one, but it was a good read. There was a little bit on it. I was like, nah. But on the whole, it was a good book. I'm going to say 8 out of 10 because I liked the idea of the book. I like the idea. It was a bit, I thought it was going to be a serious book. Then I thought, oh, is it supposed to be a comedy book? But then it got itself sorted out. It's not a comedy book. I thought it could have been a bit more gritty. So, yeah, definitely a good read. Maybe a holiday type read, that sort of thing. Take to the beach, whatever. It's a nice thick book. It was one I did keep reading, so to me that's always a good book. So that will go. And then I've just finished The Anatomy School. Now, I wasn't sure about this one. I started reading it, and it's a boy who grows up in Ireland in 1960. Now, they've got, in the 60s rather, they've got a lot of Irish words in it. So that was a bit confusing. They should have put little translations down the bottom for some of it, I guess. If you're from Ireland, it's probably like good memories for you. And there was a really amazingly good bit in the middle of it about how they're talking about trying to cheat at the school exams, because this boy had to go back a year because he didn't pass his, what was then called the 11 plus. He had to go back a year. And so then him and two other boys decide they're going to cheat in the exam, and that was a really good bit. It was really great, and I won't spoil it in case you get this book. It was amazing, but then they suddenly jump from, it all goes crazy, and then they suddenly jump from that to years later. It's like, that was the best bit of the book, and I really wanted to read more of that, but they talk about it later on, but not in great detail. So The Anatomy School, and it's called that for many reasons. So that middle bit I would give 10 out of 10 to. The rest of it overall, 7 out of 10. So they should have stuck with that middle bit and done a good story there. So not keeping that one. And then I pulled out this book from the pile my friend gave me. This is called the author's Kim Edwards, The Memory Keeper's Daughter, and it said it's a Richard and Judy summer read. Now, that's a program in England, or was a program in England, like a morning type program, if you like, Richard and Judy. Haven't started reading it. And then I walked past a pile of books, and I saw it. I thought I put it on the side with my bookmarking, ready to start reading. Snap. There were 2 of them in the pile. This one is smaller and thicker, and this one's taller and thinner. Then we look, this one, Richard and Judy, this is the English publication, and this is the previous, when it first came out, the American book. Now, I've talked about this before, how you have to be careful when you read books. This, luckily, is exactly the same, almost, front cover. Many books, when they're republished in England after America, or vice versa, they have a completely different cover and a completely different title. So do be warned about that. Do be warned. So the back is different, as in what they've written, obviously. And I'll read the back of the one I'm going to read. It should have been an ordinary birth, the start of an ordinary happy family. But the night Dr. David Henry delivers his wife's twins is a night that will haunt them the 5 lives forever. For though David's son is a healthy boy, his daughter has Down syndrome, and in a shocking act of betrayal, whose consequences only time will reveal, he tells his wife their daughter died while secretly entrusting her care to a nurse. As grief quietly tears apart David's family, so a little girl must make her own way in the world as best she can. So that, obviously, this one's going already. So I'm going to be reading that one. So that's my update, and I will let you know. Let me check the chat. The question is, which has more bones in the neck, a giraffe or a human? And we have guesses. Steve said giraffe. I said I would have said giraffe. Two Doves, Bees and Gardens says, I would guess giraffe. Steve's been an amazing moderator and done links as per norm. Thank you very much, Steve, from me and the channels. Steve says the giraffe central Nairobi video above. Right, guys, check on that. And Steve, I recommend if you're going to put any of your links in, also do it under my live, because if people are like me and you can't get the chat later on, you're very welcome to put any links you want under my video when it's finished, under my live. So always do that and put a little title of what it is, blah, blah. And you're very welcome to always do that, because you do so much for me and you're here practically every live. So for you, I'm quite happy for you to share things from your channel. Yeah, do that, because if the chat's gone, you're not going to pick up the people. I don't get many watching my live, but I do get a lot of views after. So if you want to put anything under that. So guys, always check under my lives and see what's under there for you to have a look at. Okay, let's take that off now. Let's remove that. Okay, so yes, the fire. I said I'd update you on the fire. We went out this morning for our wedding anniversary. I came back very sick. I was fine while I was out. I came back very sick, I think because I'd eaten. I have shown you on a video the map of Cyprus with where the fire went to and from. I filmed leaving our house, driving up to, so you can see how close the fire got to us, which was actually even closer than we thought, and I filmed it. So I will try and edit that. I'll probably edit that on Friday, because I do a bit of editing sometimes on Friday. And it was just over 5 kilometres away from our house, 5.8 kilometres. That's how near it got to us. We could see it, but obviously we're on a mountain, so we could see it up there. But you can't really tell distance like that unless you're there. Sometimes these things look nearer or they could be further away. But Mike measured it with his taxometer, is it? Where you press on your car to see how far you're driving. And he said, I'm going to measure it, how far away it actually was. And it was 5.8 kilometres. And I filmed it for you. Now, remember, we're not in the worst bit of the fire. So what you will see on that footage, I have to put a little bit at the beginning of the video, is not the worst bit of the fire. So if you look at how much is burnt, Mike said there were some cars and trucks that got burnt up there. But you will see in the footage how close houses were to the fires, but they just spray them from the helicopters. And all right, you're going to have damp and issues with the house, but you've still technically got your property. And when they evacuate you, they tell you, you should kind of have like an emergency box or bag or something with your possessions in. Maybe you've got a safe, or we've got a metal filing cabinet, and you just keep all like what you really would grab in a fire in there, and then you take that so they're not damaged. So yeah, what I'm saying is the video, that wasn't the midst of the fire, the middle of it. We will go further up another time and show you how a lot of the villages are completely gone, completely wiped out. So that's that. That's a little update of that. So look out for another video on the fire. Let's do the answer to the puzzle piece. So the puzzle piece today was, which has more bones in the neck, a giraffe or a human? Steve says giraffe. Two Doves, Bees and Gardens says giraffe. I would have said a giraffe. Obviously, I've got the answer here, but honestly, I would have said giraffe. The answer is both the same. Can you believe that? A human has the same amount of neck bones as a giraffe. So no wins there, because I did say what I would have said, so I was wrong as well. I was wrong as well, so I can't give myself the applause. Okay, I'm going to finish there for today. I made it, thank goodness. Thank goodness. I was doubting it. It was about 2:30. I started to felt really sick again, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I was like, I've got a few hours. Mike said, oh, you have to leave your live. I was like, no, I'm doing it. I need to do it, because I had nothing else prepped ready to show anyway. Steve says, I knew a trick question. Two Dove says, I'd say you get half a piece. Oh, half a piece. Yeah, because we're saying giraffe, so we got half right, 50% right. Take care. Only do live if you're well. I like to commit myself to doing things. That's why I was still doing the time, or else it'd be too easy for me to just take to my bed and do that. So I like to still do editing, do a live, because some of you'll chat with me in the chat, and it just helps me along a little bit. So I appreciate you all so much. Let me show my appreciation in my little appreciation clip. Yes, you really are all appreciated. You don't have, just being there sometimes really just helps me along. So thank you very much. Two Doves say, glad to catch up. Hope you feel better soon. I will do my best. So thank you for being here. And Friday Tranquility, I'm showing a video on Friday for my live, because I didn't know if I'd sort of be up to doing it this week, but I said I'd try and do Wednesday. And then Monday, I was hedging my bets, because I have to title it before I get to it, so I never know. So sometimes I just a random thumbnail for a live, and then I go and edit it afterwards, whatever I did. So Monday, I've titled Watch What I'm Doing Today. Now, if I'm well, I will be live doing something. If I'm not, I will do a video of me doing something. So who knows? It's potluck at the moment. So thanks for being there. Until next time, as always, Meraki.